will now attempt to levitate. That fucking hurt! Hope y'all enjoyed my Fujimoto reference there, because I just bruised my leg from my knee to my ankle. Hey guys, I'm Chex, for those that don't know me. I love zombies, I love zombie games, movies, everything that is zombie media basically, I highly enjoy. I also am a lover of firearms, as you can see here behind me, and specifically Resident Evil especially. I've been a fan of Resident Evil for a long time. I've been planning this in the background for a while. I've mentioned it a little here and there on the channel, I think once in a short, maybe once in a post that I did a while ago. I am working on my own scripts and things for a Resident Evil-like show. So obviously I'm small, I don't have the money or anything like that to actually make an actual Resident Evil show. So I have like a two-step plan here with this essentially. I'm going to start out doing my own thing. I'm going to prove myself that I am a good writer, that I can actually do this. I have a really good plan for both of these things, kind of similar as well. One just like without the RE name, one with the RE name with all the extra stuff. So with the first one is the one that I'm like actually planning right now, actively. Like the more this channel grows and the more, if I'm able to, I'm so close to being monetized. Thank you all so much. I just want to say that really quick again. I'm already almost at 2,000 subscribers right now. And I just made a post when I was excited about passing 1,000 subscribers like just a couple days ago. It has blown my mind. You guys are amazing. Thank you all so much for the support. Going back into that, I'm getting really close to being monetized. If I get monetized and I can actually like financially back myself with this channel, I would love to actually do this and like fully commit all the way. I'm in the planning stage of everything right now. I'm not actually at script stage yet. I am going deep into this. I have so many ideas that I want to incorporate into this. You're going to see basically my love to a lot of different game series in this like show that I'm planning. I have to do it as a show because a movie series honestly would be too short. If I get to do this and I get to do it the way that I want to do, it would be hour-long episodes with a lot of things happening. There would be a lot of different characters and like branching paths essentially. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil what I'm doing or give any of my ideas. Blech. I don't want to give any of my ideas away yet, but yeah. I will say, kind of going back to the whole like one RE versus one is just my thing. So obviously with my thing, I can't use any of the monsters and things from Resident Evil. So that does limit me a little bit on what I can do and use. I'm not going to do a complete like this is basically like a Resident Evil ripoff. Like it's just trying to be Resident Evil. No, that's not what I want to do with this. For the show that I want to make, that is like completely my own thing. It's just going to be a zombie show. It just strictly zombies. Nothing else. It's not going to be like, super mutants and like crazy stuff like that. Although I like that stuff in Resident Evil. I'm not saying that I don't like any of those things. I'm just saying that for what I'm going for, I'm not going to be using any of that stuff. I'm going to be going for a much more realistic, grounded, sci-fi horror kind of zombie thing. I want it to be very realistic. It's going to be very gritty and ugly. This is not going to be like, it's not going to be like The Last of Us, where there's like a bunch of melancholy moments where you love everything. No, this is definitely there's going to be some like, moments of relief and, happiness, sort of like that. But it's definitely going to be a more like grounded, gritty story that I want to tell. I want to have high stakes. I want to have everything. I want to have a lot of things be like, you don't know what's going to happen next. And that's kind of why I also went with Fujimoto and the beginning for a reference. If you know anything about his writing, you never know what's going to happen next. And any character is on the chopping block. No matter how much you love them, they could go at any second. That's something that I really liked about his writing that really drew me into Chainsaw Man. Literally, it was the only manga in a long time that like literally in like 20 years, I'm not even joking, that it made me want to read the manga. I literally, after, I think it's episode 7, for those that haven't watched Chainsaw Man, I'm not going to say what happens, but there's some crazy stuff that happens in about episode 7 or 8. where the whole story takes a complete drastic turn and it is completely different after that. And once I finished the season, I had to know what happened next, and I had to go read the entire manga all in one night, all like 200 chapters that were out at the time or whatever there was. And I enjoyed like every page of it. It was amazing. Fujimoto has a great understanding of a lot of media, movies, and a lot of the like classic stuff. As you see, I'm actually using it as some of my background here. This is the video that I made a while ago. It's not on my channel for anybody else to use. This is just for me and my backgrounds. But it's just to show like a lot of my favorite animes. And as you can see, there's a lot of Chainsaw Man, Black Lagoon, all that stuff, just, you know, so you can kind of get some ideas. Evangelion here. And then if you've seen my channel and some of the other things that I've talked about, then you already kind of know some of the other things I'm a huge fan of. Half-Life reference. I gotta say, this is probably the thing that I am most excited about if this channel takes off, because I would love to be able to do this. This is something that has been kind of a dream of mine for a while. I've not been very happy with almost any of the movies that we've really gotten for Resident Evil, like, ever. The Mila Jovovich series pretty much started to bomb right after like the third movie for me. They were cool movies, but they were not Resident Evil at all. It was just a fun zombie monster flick thing that was doing its complete own thing that just had the Resident Evil name to it. I think everybody agrees on that now. Welcome to Raccoon City was actually a pretty good movie, just there was a lot of funky stuff about it and they tried to jam too much into one movie, and that's why it failed in a lot of people's opinion. A lot of people can't really articulate that because they steal their opinion from people online, but that's really the like overall sentiment that I hear from like a lot of people, at least, is that they just tried to do too much in one movie and they ended up shorting a lot of things that really should have been spent more time on. And then there's the animated Resident Evil movies that actually, in my opinion, did the best for being the closest to Resident Evil. The first two animated movies that we got, in my opinion, were really good. The second one started to get a really cheesy, where they're in like Russia and Leon's, you know, messing around with all those Russians and stuff. It got pretty goofy there again, almost like they were kind of going toward like Code Veronica stuff, which I kind of understood, which I understood, but I also thought was weird because they literally had like the first movie with Leon and Claire, so it's like, why didn't they do the Code Veronica vibe there instead of the next movie? But you know, it's whatever, too late now. And then I kind of stopped watching after that one, to be honest, because I saw the trailers and some of the things that people were saying for the other ones. I watched bits and pieces of them, like scenes of them, to see if I was going to actually be interested, but I could tell that the stories were just kind of slop, and there was some like the writing was just awful. It was just really goofy, silly stuff that I wasn't interested in, so I ended up not watching them. And again, it's also like separate, I'm pretty sure, from the actual games, so I don't think they're actually considered as lore, but I'm not really sure if it is or not anymore. So that's another reason why like I just don't care for any of the current movies. The movies and all that stuff really does their own thing, so that's that. Oh, and then there was that one Resident Evil show that they made. That was just awful. That was the worst thing that ever has been made for Resident Evil in a live action. The only thing that actually really came out from that was really good was the guy that played Wesker. I forget his name by the moment. Unfortunately, he passed away as well, and he was a really cool actor. I really liked him in a lot of stuff. He did portray Wesker amazingly, though. That was honestly the best, and I know some people are going to be like, oh, but he didn't look like him. I don't care that he was black. He did a really good job. It's the one time that I'm going to say I don't care about like a race swap or anything like that. He did a fantastic job at being Wesker. His voice, the way he carried himself, like literally he was Wesker, in my opinion. Like there was no like dispute in my mind. That was the only golden nugget of that show that I really enjoyed. Back to my creation. Up to my creation, really. So without saying too much, I feel like I've hinted at enough that maybe I can like say some things without like having my ideas. No, yeah, you know what? No, I can say this stuff without having my ideas completely stolen. So I really liked the way that a lot of people, game creators, did their writing back in the 90s, which is why I referenced Half-Life and Resident Evil, like the old Resident Evil. Half-Life and old Resident Evil did a great job at telling like multi-part stories where you could see different angles of the same event. That's something that I really want to implement into my show. And I've been working really hard on coming up with some ideas for how to do that. And I think I've got some really interesting characters and ideas for that to be able to kind of roll around with in that. Now, that being said, I need to make a lot of characters to be able to have characters that I can waste at any moment. This is, like I said, this is going to be a big story. I want to do like big things with this. Think like original Walking Dead, kind of like the first few seasons that we got that were really good, where we were like, what's gonna happen next? Like, I really like that kind of stuff, and that's what I want to do. But like at Fujimoto level, where it's like even the characters you think are really important that you think are never gonna, or at least not for a while, gonna die, I want them to possibly be able to bite the dust at any minute. I want you to be able to, every scene that you're watching, or at least like a lot of the scenes that are like, you know, really good or whatever that I'm doing, I want them to have a really high level of intensity where you really feel like your favorite character that you're watching, you know, when they're going and doing dangerous stuff, I want you to really feel like your favorite character could just at any second. I'm not really sure how much more I want to say in this video, unfortunately, to like spoil it or whatever. I don't want to give a lot of details away until I'm like a lot further along with the project, and when I can actually like start doing it, when I can like actually like put out a trailer. Basically, this is me just kind of putting this out there to let you guys know like plans that I really want to do. I talked about it forever ago in a short, wanting to do like skits and shows. I'm kind of doing that right now a little bit in my shorts. They've kind of just been like things that I do when I have some like free time between things and I'm taking a break. I just throw something together for a short really quick. You guys have really liked that stuff though, so that thank you all for the support on that. But that's kind of me like testing myself a little bit and just being like creative in like small ways. So if you guys really like that kind of stuff, then, you know, imagine what I can do when I actually have like the money to create stuff. Like right now I'm working on like an extremely tight budget, and because of that I'm very limited in the things that I'm able to do and kind of create right now. So it's just like a lot of planning, as well as like I'm already working on like a lot of other projects. Like I'm trying to build up my second channel as well right now at the same time as I'm doing this channel. There's a lot of things that I want to do just like on YouTube, but I will say, if this gets a lot of support and you guys really want this, and like I can get the, you know, financial backing, I have Ko-fi and Buy Me a Coffee. So if you want to help donate to support me and move things along, that would be amazing. I don't have channel subs yet, or memberships, or, you know, whatever, anything like that yet. I'm not fully monetized yet. I still need my watch hours basically right now. But if I get a lot of support for this specifically, then I will make a harder push for this. Just like I kind of did with the whole like something wrong with the dog I brought home. You guys really liked that, so I made a bunch more of those. You know, whenever I'm free, I try to make something out of that for you guys to enjoy. You guys have been loving that stuff. If you guys show me the support here for this, then I will absolutely put more work into it. The more support that, you know, I get for something, the more I'm willing to be like, okay, cool, let's keep this going. Let's move this along. This is, you know, we've got traction here, basically. Let's get this train moving. All that being said, I do want to at least kind of tell you guys that I do have a lot of the stuff already planned for how to do and make a lot of the stuff. I will say, like, for example, I've got a lot of the like props kind of already figured out, what I'm gonna do and use for a lot of that stuff, how I'm able to kind of make and create special effects off of that stuff. Now, some of those ideas might change once I have more money and more options open up to me, especially like once I start working with other people and I can like actually hire some people. Like if I can hire an editor that's like really good at doing that kind of stuff later on, that would be amazing. That would be a huge help to me. Right now, I'm 100% a one-man show. I'm doing everything. So that's why, like, sometimes you'll see stuff that's, like, really high quality from me, and sometimes you'll see stuff that's kind of, like, mid or low quality from me. But I keep it honest. The only thing that I don't really have worked out yet is, like, locations and things like that, but that's something that I can easily figure out later on down the road. And I already kind of have some ideas for that as well, to be honest with you. But those are completely probably gonna change later on in the future, so I'm not even gonna really say anything about that. I don't really have anything concrete there. I think that's gonna be it for this video. I think I've already said enough. I don't want to say too much, like I've kind of already, you know, said before. I'm just gonna reiterate that basically. I didn't want to say too much in this video, so that's why I'm kind of keeping it short, even though this is probably like a 15-minute video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe to show your support, I would really appreciate that. It would mean the world to me right now, especially since I'm trying to get monetized and like do all these really big, cool plans. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you again. Hope you guys have a good one. Bye, guys.